Someone called me Asman Bald the other day. May as well lean into it.
Today we need to talk about a very popular content creator and streamer by the name of Hasan Piker, who is the world's second most popular political commentator. In the aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination, we need to take some time to reflect on the words and in fact direct call to actions that have been allowed to be spoken freely on our social media platforms, regardless of the fact that they broke not only multiple terms of service, which exposes a double standard, but the very basic fibers of dignity and decency. I will present...
Wait, does the left even have that anymore? Did they have that to begin with, or did we just assume that they were human beings and had some dignity? Had some decency? Because I think all the events that have played out recently have shown us that I don't believe that the left really do have those things. I don't think they do. That all of the double standards that we're seeing online, all of the two-tier policing that we're seeing in the UK, all of the double standards that we see throughout American civil society as well, I'm starting to believe that they don't have any fucking decency at all.
Send to you a few clips that have been put together by fellow content creators who are exposing his diabolical takes. But ironically, I might end up being demonetized or censored because of his words on my channel, even though his own words did not get him demonetized or banned on his platforms. This isn't two-tier justice, this is 15-tier justice. I'm still making the video. Before I jump into the actual clips and you see what I'm talking about, and if you haven't seen it, take a Valium. But before we jump into that, there is one take I want to address, a take that has been...
Oh man, really? I'm like proper stressed out already. You know, when you just feel... There's a famous quote from Bilbo Baggins. I feel like a piece of butter that's been spread too thinly on some toast. I think that's the quote.
Rather popular these days on social media, and it's nonsense. So here it is, the take, open quotes. The only person responsible for the death of Charlie Kirk is the shooter, because he's the one who pulled the trigger. Close quotes. Nonsense. People who call for violence and incite violence are also responsible, and the blood of Kirk is on their hands too. And let me show you that you actually agree with me. Let's retro-apply this to test its inner logical consistency. Is Hitler responsible for the millions of deaths he caused? I mean, he didn't literally pull the trigger. He only used words and incited his sick followers. But technically, it was his followers who actually did the killing. So, are we not going to blame the man?
Yeah, what about Mao Zedong during the Chinese Cultural Revolution? What is it, 200 million died? Yeah. He didn't kill all of them himself, but, you know, his words did. His words led to actions.
Who had the influence and gave the orders? Who made the public speeches? Is he not responsible now? Because, well, he technically didn't pull the trigger, so... Yeah, I didn't think so. In the age of information, during the continuous uprise of technological addiction, violent rhetoric is not just in the hands of political tyrants making public speeches in plazas and city squares. The rhetoric and its call to action is now spread through TikTok. Social media is the new city plaza. And this power is now wielded by a multitude of chronically online narcissists who have become rich and popular overnight and do not understand the severity of the responsibility they have towards the millions of people they influence. Or do they?
Well, here's the thing. I'd probably say they don't. They lack the ability to check themselves. I find making this channel, like making these videos, among the most stressful things I've ever done in my entire life. It is very, very hard work because I don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't want to incite anything. I want to bring people together and wake them up. That's the only reason I'm making this channel, is because I'm so tired of people being lied to by the mainstream media. I'm so tired of people having the wrong take about something so obvious that it should be completely transparent to everyone that sees it. And that is why I make this channel, and it is incredibly stressful and it's hard work. It's very taxing on the mind because I don't want to make mistakes. I don't want to fuck up. I don't think you can say the same about Hasan Piker, for instance.
Or does he? Words have power. particularly in a politically inflamed context. And we cannot detach responsibility from those who speak violence and incite those who physically commit said violence. As of the making of this video, there are tens of thousands of calls to action right now. People are asking for Kirk's wife to be next. Do as Mongol next, they say. There need to be consequences for direct incitement to violence and threats online. There have to be legal consequences.
And why the fuck would you go after his... Why would you go after his wife? Fucking animals. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been messaging me saying that they feel differently, like something switched in their brains or in their soul or something. I can feel it. I can feel it. I think before I would let people get away with saying like this because I think they didn't mean it or it was being naive. But after seeing what happened to Charlie Kirk and then watching them double down and saying who's next, I genuinely, that's it. All compassion or all understanding for these people has left my body. I'm beginning to really despise them, like on a level that I've never felt for anyone. Like even Osama bin Laden, right? And all the rhetoric that went around him. No, I despise these people more than him. Anyway, fucking hell.
Personally, I don't care who says it, towards who. In the last few days, we have seen a monumental amount of tolerant liberals celebrate and laugh at the death of a father, a husband, drawing cartoons where you can see his throat explode with blood. You've seen these kids on TikTok laughing like little miserable demons, chanting, "We got Charlie on the neck" multiple times as there are a few girls in the background laughing and giggling. These people are disgusting. Now, I know that if you're a right-winger watching this, or a centrist, or a moderate, you already don't want to have anything to do with these people. But I beg you, if you are one of my left-wing subscribers...
Guys, I don't want anything to do with these videos. I don't want to make them. But we need to look evil in the face. We need to actually see the people that live around us, live among us, and see their reactions to something so horrific that it affected most of us for days upon days, right? Even if at first we didn't really know this guy, you can sense there's been a tragic loss. We need to understand the evil that walks among us.
Please call them out. Show us who the good lefties are versus the bad lefties. Do not find a justification. Don't try to say, yes, but show us you're decent, because the others, it's full mask off.
Yep.
And we will call out each and every single one of them, faces on the screen for the world to see. But of course, for moral consistency, I will say that if someone on the right now makes a TikTok and starts to say, we need to retaliate and off this influencer on the left, no, there need to be legal consequences for each threats of violence. Stop trying to off each other, for crying out loud. After I'm done with Piker, next is Destiny. Let's proceed in order. Before I show you what he said, there is one thing you don't know that I would like you to know. 3 days ago was the scheduled launch date for my new merch. A pendant that took us 6 months to create, but I suspended the merch campaign because I wanted to make videos about Charlie Kirk's assassination, but I didn't feel right in my conscience to continue the planned integrations and post them on every video for a week as we had intended. So
Sure.
I completely blocked the campaign even though we had started 3 days ago, and I did not put any integration nor mention to my new merch on the videos that I made about Charlie Kirk because it felt inappropriate.
I honestly, guys, I feel weird about making any merch full stop. I know a lot of you guys have asked for it, but it feels icky. You know, I'm not... I don't know, it just feels weird for me, like, just do it. I don't know, we'll see, maybe in the future, I don't know.
Even though I knew that those videos were going to get hundreds of thousands of views, I didn't feel right about it, and I stopped. However, this video, as I said, might get demonetized. So I am going to put my merch on this video, because it's a video about Piker, to counter that. I'm going to show you the new beautiful pendant right now. If you're not interested, feel free to skip it. But if you do want to support me, regardless of any possible backlash or demonetization for speaking the truth and being honest about this, please consider ordering a pendant. It would mean the world to me, and I would really appreciate your support. Proudly presenting the pendant.
Okay, guys, that's the pendant. Right, it comes in different colors, and he's got some rings as well. I'm not watching this. I can't be fucked. No offense, dude. No offense. Nah.
I'm a man who likes to admit his biases and be transparent and 100% clear, because when I do that, then if what I'm saying is based on a bias, then I do want you guys to call me out, because all I care about is the truth. And I'll be honest with you right now. I do not like Hasan Piker. I haven't liked him ever since I found out that he said the likes of America deserved 9/11, which, regardless of your political takes, I find to be a distasteful statement to
Every single time I've seen this guy, he comes across as a hateful piece of shit. A very divisive piece of shit. He's an egotist, a narcissist, and he looks like a twink. I don't know what's going on with this guy. He's a very strange guy. You know, at least the Young Turks with Anna and Cenk, they kind of sometimes say the right thing. They have a conscience. They do sometimes go a little bit too far, but they don't call for violence, as far as I'm aware. They don't cross the line. And when they realize that they're in the wrong, they actually check themselves and they come back around. And I respect them for that. I don't like their content very much, although it's getting better, especially Anna. I don't understand how people like this can keep a platform when they're quite obviously not the right person to be online, not the right person to be given such a prominent voice. These are the people that are destroying the West.
to make, considering that the people who died during 9/11 were not soldiers. They were just regular people that were going their jobs. They were someone's father, wife, husband, children. So that already, as far as I'm concerned, put him in the this guy's bad list. Now, this is something he said years ago, I believe. Therefore, I'm always ready for someone to have a redemption arc, but what it seems is that he actually went further down the rabbit hole.
This is what I'm talking about. I've never seen him check himself. I've never seen him say that he's wrong. I've never seen him apologize. I've only seen him double down.
I watched his video reaction to what happened to Charlie Kirk, and in fact, he fooled me at first, in the sense that I thought when I saw him being distressed for Charlie's death, and he was not laughing about it like the other monsters are, and he was instead being like, oh my gosh, oh my lord, what is happening? No, don't laugh about it to his own audience. You know, at first I thought, maybe this guy is getting points with me, because I'm not a tribalistic individual. If someone says something right, I don't care what politics they have, I will admit it. But I was wrong. He was acting out. How do I know that? Well, I responded to Tectone recently, who was complaining about the sun. He's only saying that now because he's scared that this could happen to him. Why am I saying this? What is my proof of this? Why did I change my mind, even though at first I was like, you know what, maybe it's being decent on this one for once? Because I found this. Watch. Since I have to try and defend my platform, I'm cutting out some main words. Look at the screen though. And for the full version, come check out my Twitter, link in the description.
I'm sick and tired of it. Left-wingers, liberals, you need to be fucking showing your opponents on there, okay? You need to be them. You need to be shanking these motherfuckers and letting their destinies just ride.
How is he allowed to make that? How is he allowed to make that content and post it online? He's calling for violence. He's calling for people to slice people. That's mental. How is that allowed?
Is this shit, man? Slice them up. Slice fucking.
What a piece of shit.
You cannot have a bigger fucking layup. You could not have had a bigger fucking layup than a horrible candidate like Herschel Walker. Sure, he was prepared very well. And Herschel Walker actually had a good...
monetized on social media. Did he get banned? Why does he still have a platform? Do you think that's over? Oh, that's not all of it. There is more.
Hurt poor people that they can afford housing in Berkeley? I don't know how that works. Well, my understanding is that the property owners who have properties there choose just not to rent it at all.
Yeah,
As a result.
those motherfuckers.
All right, look, that's straight out. That's as obvious as it gets. Calls for murder. How is this guy allowed on the internet?
In the street. Let the streets soak in their fucking red capitalist, dude.
What a piece of shit.
He hates red capitalist blood, yet he's a wealthy millionaire. He's dressed in red capitalist money. And let me tell you this. I despise your wealth, Piker. Because it's blood money. And I made a post about this on my Twitter, and someone came to...
How is it blood money? I don't get that. No, he's just a piece of shit, and he's saying awful things. He's saying things that should get him banned, okay? That's it. He hasn't murdered anyone. He hasn't. Let's not go too far, okay? Let's not go too far. His words should get him deplatformed. He shouldn't be allowed on the internet anymore, okay? But blood money? Come on.
defend him and said, you're taking him out of context when he said X, one of these, and or the multitude others that he did. In that case, he didn't mean conservatives. He actually meant Democrats. Oh, so that makes it better? You absolute moron. That makes it better? No one should be I don't care. I don't care who is direct. That's beyond the point. It is one of the few cases where context does not matter. And by the way, if after he makes a call to action, then he pauses for a moment and says, in Minecraft. No. Just read what his chat says. This guy, let's put, if you really like the context, let's present this context then. Who is he streaming to? 15 housewife and the local parish man? He has tens of thousands, sometimes 50,000 people who watch him, and a huge chunk of those are radical, and he knows it. Now, there is one more section that I'm not going to show, and I'll tell you why, where it looks like, in this screenshot, that he specifically said, someone needs to do Charlie Cook. The reason why I'm not showing that on screen is because I found it only as a screenshot, and those can be altered. So,
yeah, okay,
stuff that I can actually hear him say on video, yeah.
That's fair.
But something that I cannot corroborate because it could have been faked, I'm not going to use, so I'm not going to show it. However, okay, the reason why I'm even mentioning it is because the FBI should look into that. Because if it's false, and it's someone on the right who is trying to pin something he didn't say on him, then ignore it. But look at the other stuff. But if it is true that he said this, I'm not a lawyer, but isn't that like accessory to murder at this point?
So here's the thing, right? I've got a problem with this. It's not necessarily that I think that he's got blood on his hands, okay? Although you could legitimately argue that he does. I think it's more to do with the platforms. It's more to do with the moderators. It's more to do with the mainstream media, the ones that are like hyping all of this up, hyping this violence up. For example, how can he have direct cause to violence and then a couple of seconds later go on Minecraft and it be okay? That shouldn't be allowed. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. Hasan Piker is a piece of shit. He knows that he's got a radical base. He knows that his supporters are mental. His supporters are the people that celebrate the murder of an innocent man. And he knows that. And he riles them up. He says the right things to make them go mental, and he knows what he's doing. He should not be allowed on the internet. I think legitimately, we should start banning people from the internet who call for violence. That's it. They're not allowed to use the internet. They're certainly not allowed to be one of the biggest fucking internet content creators on the planet. They shouldn't be allowed. There's a moral responsibility for everyone that we need to start taking up. We can't allow these people to just do whatever they want and say whatever they want. We can't allow these platforms to have a two-tier system in place where these people can say whatever they want and right-wingers get banned for barely mentioning something to do with maybe the colour of someone's skin. This is just not acceptable anymore, guys. This is the results. I believe that Charlie Kirk, what happened to Charlie, is the result of right-wing negligence in allowing these people to say what they've been saying, and left-wing culpability in actually promoting these words and these actions that these people have been saying. We're not innocent in this. We haven't been strong enough. We need to get stronger, guys. We need to be way fucking stronger. See you later.